Ah, folks, right, this one is going to be about women having all the power. Well, okay, not all the power, but as much power as men. Certainly in many areas, women do have all the power, yes. Well, okay, go back. As I say, we've had that situation over recent years where movie producers and writers and actors and whatever, but people with power with regards to Hollywood, they've been now accused, and actors and personalities, TV personalities, disc jockeys, have all now been in trouble because a woman has accused them of indecently assaulting them back in the day. Well, the reality is most men at some point have been indecently assaulted by a woman. Most men. Yeah. Most men have been talked to in a way that would count now as sexual assault. Especially the more attractive you are. And, yes, you have the situation where you would have bosses or, that they would employ an incredibly attractive secretary, but then employ another one who was older and capable of doing the job. The attractive one was CANDI. Now, the attractive girl knew she was CANDI. She was under no illusion she was anything other than CANDI. And she would often have sex with the boss as a way of keeping her position or getting a better position in the company. Everyone knew what was going on. Common notice. You'd have that with women as well. If there was an attractive young man, older women would flirt with that young man. Older women would get touchy with that young man. If he was attractive or muscular, oh yes, they would. And again, it was counted as a boy. Oh, I bet that was nice. The old woman feeling you up. At least you got felt up. Man doing it to a woman, that's assault. Yeah. Women have always had that power. They've always had the power sexually. Always had the power sexually. It's always been them that have had the power. Men have had no power at all. You go back in the centuries and 600 years ago, 700 years ago, 1,000 years ago. If you were a family and you had a stunningly attractive daughter, if you had a daughter and she ended up being incredibly attractive, that was your ticket out. That very good looking daughter that you had was your ticket out. You would parade your daughter in front of the local single lord as a possible bride for this lord. He would basically have all these women parading in front of him, and it really was, it's purely about sex. It's purely about sexual attraction. Partly, of course, it's about having a good-looking child. So if you're a lord and you're going to have a son, you want a good-looking son, so you want a good-looking bride to make sure you get a good-looking son. That is true. But therefore, looks and body and all of that has always been a power for women. Always been. It's never not been. And so, again, this is where society needs to wake up and understand truth. That's not be going after men who have done things in the past. Sod that. That was stupid. Men have used their power. Okay. Have the same attitude towards them as you have towards women. If a woman, from a left-wing point of view, if a woman is good looking and she can use her body to make money, well done, good on you. Right? But if a man uses his power to get a good looking woman, which is equal to him as money is to her, same sort of currency, really. No, he's got to be shamed. No, sorry. No, that's the point. You can't do that. And this is where the people that want to shame men, but say that it's good for a woman to do equal, they're condemning themselves. They're condemning themselves to an eternity in hell because they get judged according to their own judgment. If they're judging it's okay for a woman, then they're making sure that their judgment on men is counted as sin. Yeah, because you're judging men unequally to how you're judging women. Therefore, best thing is don't judge anyone. Don't judge anyone. The reality is I was just doing something in the kitchen and I thought, well actually, yeah. Men have always understood that deal. I understood when I was very, very young that you go to a nightclub, you see an attractive woman, you buy her drinks, right? You're buying her drinks because as a man, you want to take her home and have sex, right? The woman wants to go out, she wants free drinks because she doesn't want to spend her own money, right? So buying the drinks is giving the woman money, right? For what? For sex. So, yeah. So you could say 30% of the women over 40 have at some point prostituted themselves. Because that is prostitution. As I say, the reality is, if a man meets a woman for prostitution, for sex, he pays her and she runs away with the money, doesn't deliver sex but runs away with the money, is that still prostitution? Yes. She just hasn't delivered her part. And the women in nightclubs weren't delivering their part of the agreement because they were taking drinks from multiple men. Because they realised their power. Again, I'm not judging the women. I'm saying, well, okay. It worked for you. You were able to go out and have a good night, get drunk, and, and it didn't cost you a penny. You still had all the money in your bank the next day. Men were broke. They go home broke. They're going to wait till next week till they get paid again now. So therefore, okay, it worked. It worked. But as I said, we understood that was the deal. That was the understanding. We didn't speak about it. We didn't judge the women upon that. But we understood, okay, there is a deal here. Yeah. Women have something to give. We have something to give. We give what we have so that they give what they have. What they have is a vagina. What we have is money. There you go. It was as simple as that. That was the equation. The women knew that. Women knew that men want to get into my vagina, so therefore they will buy me drinks. They will spend their money on me. Women were using their power. Okay. But let's not ignore that. That's okay. Look, we all do things that can be counted as incorrect. All do things that are counted as wrong. It's not about judging women. It's not about saying that we're going to judge you as a prostitute for that. But it is about saying that, from an area of truth, that is exactly what that is. We call it what it is because that's truth. Let's not lie and say it's not that, because it is technically, it is that. So let's not try and pretend it's not. But it's not about judging the people. The same as women who do that for a living. We're not going to judge them. As I say, I mean, OnlyFans. A lot of women who do OnlyFans don't need to do OnlyFans. Especially now. During COVID, when the first few women did OnlyFans and were doing, sex videos or sex chat or whatever they do on OnlyFans, like pornography but with one individual, they were making millions per year. Millions. Multiple millions per year. But that was only when there was one or two. Now, I don't believe the women make very much at all. I don't believe that is the case. Well, because obviously there's going to be more. Yeah, at one point there may have been 100 women doing OnlyFans. Now there's over 1 million. But there will be, because once a way is known of making money, and lots of money from doing just whatever you do at home, looking sexy or being sexual on video, women are going to think, well, I do that, I give it a go. And again, that itself is prostitution, yes. And it's one that women choose to do. They don't have to. They choose to, and a lot of them are choosing it because they think it could be a gold mine, but it's really not, because the problem is women are having to compete with other women. And I say, with regards to that stuff, you're going to have a lot of stuff going on in those channels that is really pushing the boundaries of not only what's allowed on things like OnlyFans, but also what women are prepared to do. And the only reason women would do things that are more extreme would be because it brings in the money. Well, because it's been known for a while that it's not often this, it's not a common thing, it's a very rare thing, but you do get some women, they get flown out to Dubai. Women who are not porn actresses, but flown out to Dubai, paid a huge amount of money to be used as a sex toy by multiple Middle Eastern men. Women come back, they have all this money, but something in them is dead after that. Of course it is. But they go thinking purely about the money, not about the consequences. And OnlyFans is the same thing. They think about the money, not about the consequences. There are consequences to all these things, and so there's not a shame. As I say, the devil wants to bring shame to people. He wants people to be ashamed. But that's not God. God doesn't want people to be ashamed. God wants people to know they're loved. That's it. And that's the case for all these people. So you take care. God bless. Speak to you soon. Bye.